Aloha friends, welcome to my channel. This is Xamanxi and this is the Solstice portal readings. So this Solstice portal is open. It is in the next few days it will be coming up, and the energy is vibrantly cleansing is what I'm hearing. It's got this this energy of new beginnings, slate wiped clean, being able to be the creator, right? The creator lives within us. So it's getting ourselves in that space where we can actually create the things that we want and be mindful to not create the things that we don't want. So being mindful of the words, of the way that we speak, of the things that we think about ourselves. And you know, I had this exercise where if I had a negative thought come into my head, because it was already in thought, it was easier for me to speak it out and then cancel clear it. So if I had something come up, maybe you know, something just came up and I had a thought that wasn't in the best, highest vibration, and I would just share it with my husband or with a good friend, and then I would cancel it and say, like, I need to get this out so it doesn't sit inside of me, and I'm ready to cancel it out and shift out of that vibration. And it is a way for me to consciously allow myself to continue to open up and shift through these vibrations. So my lower self, of course, is going to have things that okay, so they're telling me there are things that can trigger our lower selves, and in those moments there are words or thoughts or things that might want to come out, and just to allow them to be expressed, and then, you know, you can cancel, clear the energy, shift it however you'd like, but at least get it out of you. It's coming up so that it can just be purged. And like I said, this solstice it feels like a reset, like a complete reset of energy. I guess it's like a quantum they're telling me a quantum shift in reality. So a lot of people's reality is going to be shaken up with this solstice blessing, and everything is happening for our divine highest and best good for all. So allow yourself to tap into that energy. Get out and play. They keep bringing this through. Get out and enjoy yourself, play, do something different. Just this AM, I went to a new little bakery spot that I heard of. They're not new, but it was new to me. And they had the most delicious pastries, and it was just a little treat and something a little different. So maybe do that for yourself. Look out and see how you can shift and bring more joy into your life. It brought so much joy to me and my husband, and I'm typically not a pastry person. Like I'm not really big into sweets. So the fact that it just was so delicious and it was heartfelt, and you can tell that it's a family-owned business and they really love what they do. They put their love into their food. It was a really neat experience. So so get out there, find some new things, play, enjoy life, right? We all continue to evolve and grow through these cycles, and the one thing that a lot of people miss out on is the play. Even if you're living the most basic 3D life and it's the same schedule, same routine all the time, get up, go to work, get off of work, go home, have some kind of meal, maybe work out a little bit, go to bed, wake up the next day and do it all over again. They're saying find ways to bring joy and play and fun and laughter into that space. So when I was in my corporate position, I would always play music, and no one else really did that. They would kind of play it here and there, but for me, I just started doing it and nobody told me no. And I remember, like, one of the, I'll call them big shots, one of the big shot guys walked in one day and I was playing music and they were like, all right, it feels really good in here. Like, the energy feels great. Everybody's flowing. All right, let's go. So you may be surprised that there are things that you can do to shift the energy throughout your day that are not going to bother or affect others. In fact, it can shift their vibration. And I actually just heard this on a call that I was listening to recently. And there was someone on the call that was super dense, low vibe energy, very negative, very strict, very like get things done type of energy. And one person came in and told just like a really like a joke. It was in relation to what was on the call, what was being talked about on the call. But it was like, hey, and this one person shifted the entire call. After that, everybody was laughing, everybody was having a good time. The energy was vibrant by the time the call was complete. So know that you have you have the power to create what you want in your life. Start, if you want to take control of something, take control of that, right? Let go of control of things that that you can't do anything about, right? And let go of those things. But the things that you can, that like inviting play and joy and laughter and these things into your life, do it. Do it. They're bringing me one last thing before we get into the cards here, but I actually used to, so I had my own office for a while in my corporate position for a few years. And in my office, I would always play frequencies. And it was for me to raise my vibration and keep me in a good mood and really get me moving and flowing. And it was just a frequency, kind of like what you're hearing in the background now. And people used to walk by my office and tell me how good it felt. People used to just come to my office just to sit in there. And they're like, I don't know what it is, but it feels so good in here. And I would tell them, it's this frequency. Try it, like play it while you're getting your work done, and you'll notice your energy shifts. So use the tools that are out there. YouTube is filled with magnificent tools for us to help shift our vibration. So use what is out there and bring some more joy into your life. All right, so we have 4 piles that wanted to come through, and the energy, this reading is going to be a little different. So they had me pull from, I believe it was a Spirit Warrior Oracle. I will list it in the description. And the cards are stunning, as you see here, but they have like a sequential message that came through with each one. So go ahead and take your time if you want to pause this and tap in and see which one of those photos resonates for you. Maybe there's some words that jump out for you. Whatever pile is calling to you at this time. And remember, you can always come back and listen to another pile later if you're feeling drawn back or if your energy is shifted into something different. These are timeless readings, so take what resonates for you at the time that you were listening to this and lovingly leave the rest for everyone else on this journey with us. All right, timestamps will be in the description. We are going to start with pile number 1, which is this love tree over here. And then 2, 3, and 4 will be in the description. All right, happy solstice. Welcome back to those of you who chose this beautiful love tree. Oh, wow. The vibration of love that's coming through this pile. It has me smiling from ear to ear. It's such a high vibrational, loving, flowing type energy. It's really loose, like not even, I can't describe it. It's not even like floating or flowing in water. It's even more open than that. It's more expansive than that. And the first thing I heard when I got this pile set up to do the reading for y'all was love is emerging. Love is emerging. Now, there are a lot of unions that are getting ready to come into union in the physical. There are a lot of unions that have gone through some things in the spiritual or have been shifting in the astral to be able to come into the physical. And it's taken, they're telling me for the divine unions, it's taken a lot to get to this space. So have some grace with yourself, give yourself some love, you deserve it, and know that the energy is finally open. It feels so expansive. And when I say it feels, I literally feel these things in my body as I'm channeling them. And it's just this big open, I feel like standing on top of the mountain with arms and legs open, just fully spread and screaming at the top of your lungs like how much you love. It's such a vibrant, loving energy. So awesome for y'all. Give yourself a little pat on the back because it is not easy to get to this space. If you are here, it means that you have done a lot of self-work. You've grown a whole bunch, evolved through different layers of karmic cycles and letting go and setting boundaries and doing everything that you need to do to cultivate love for self. And now you're ready for this level up. So let's see what's coming through. I feel like there's going to be some clearing in here that they're telling me we may be able to get through while we do the reading. And then also some activations. So I'm just going to go ahead and spread these out, they told me. So I'm just going to put them as they're telling me. I'm going to align them. All right. Okay, there we go. Wow, such vibrant colors there. Okay, and I will bring them closer for you as I tap into and read them. And if we need any extra guidance today, I have the Spirit Animal Oracle that wanted to be here for the extra guidance as well. So let's just fill into this energy. There is a lot coming through here. All right, relax your shoulders. Bring a smile to your face. Love is coming in. Oh my goodness. I feel this energy so strongly for you. And it's because you've, like I said, you've been through a lot. You've processed through a lot. You've shifted and evolved through many cycles. And you are this fire phoenix energy that is now rising from the ashes. It's like you had to grow through some cycles to really get you into this space. And they're telling me because almost like can you be more direct with that, Spirit, please? You needed to let go of all of the things that made you feel unworthy. You needed to let go of all of the people, places, things, times, spaces, dimensions, parallel lives. All of those things had to shift so that you could fully step into your power and know that you are absolutely worthy of love. There was some holding on that they're saying that has already shifted. And just for those of you that want to know, it's not necessary, but I know some of you do want to know the details. So they're just saying that there were past lifetimes where you did things that you weren't very proud of, and you've continued to carry those into the next lifetime, lifetime after lifetime. So it was a big buildup of regret, of almost shaming yourself, not wanting to be in your power because you didn't feel worthy of being seen. You didn't feel worthy of people loving you. And so even in your okay, they're giving me two different things here, so I feel like I have two different energies. I'm going to tap into one first and then I'll come back to the other. So again, take what resonates for you, please leave the rest. But there is a part of those of you that are watching this that had a really tough like family dynamic where you felt like your family didn't love you, or maybe you were the outcast or the black sheep, or there was just something about you that was very different, and you've always felt outed by your family. You always felt like they were never there for you, or if they did, they wanted something in return. There wasn't an equal balance there, and that wasn't because your family wanted to come in and treat you horribly in this lifetime. It was because you were carrying this guilt and this shame from other lifetimes. And so the family in this lifetime reflected that back to you. Remember, we are all mirrors. So it was a reflection of what you felt already coming into this lifetime. Those of you that are on this side that I'm talking about right now have chosen a really hard path. And it's been a really strenuous path to get to where you're at now. Lots of evolution has been endless for you. There's been many cycles that you've grown through in this lifetime to be able to shift through this. So those of you that have made it here, wow, congratulations. This is a big like soul cycle shift for you. Now the other half, or the other I guess the other I don't know how they want me to say this. So that was some of you that are listening to this. Now, the rest of you that are listening to this, you did carry some stuff from past lifetimes, but it wasn't guilt or shame. Thank you. It was more, it was more like a vow, or a love, hope. They're telling me love, hope. Okay, I think there's something I'm missing there. What they're telling me is that it was more like you loved so much in a lifetime. Like you had the most amazing love story in a past life that you were like, I'm never going to do this again with anyone else ever. Like you are my forever and always. There is no one else. And then you reincarnate and you come back in, and every time love comes in, there's been something that's popped up for you where you felt unsatisfied because you were so linked to the soulmate from the past life. So part of this energy that you've been growing through is detaching and letting go of things, and calling all of your energy back to you, and sending all of the energy that belongs to others back to them so that they can also be whole. This can also mean that you may have taken a vow of like celibacy, or like a religious vow in a past lifetime where you promised that you wouldn't love anyone except for whatever deity or god you were worshiping at that time. But there's a shift in the soul cycle, so you're coming out of that. Everyone that chose this pile is shifting out of a soul cycle and opening up to the energy of love. Okay, so we have Archangel Raphael that's coming through. And Archangel Raphael is coming through to help heal the heart. I'm just gonna do a little channeling here. Okay, he's saying, you've opened your heart, dear one. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for stepping out on this journey. And now it's time to receive. It's time to receive. Allow yourself to stay in this vulnerable space that you've cultivated. Allow yourself to stay in this place where you've blossomed and opened up. And know that your highest self and your guides are here for you. They are here to connect with you, to help you, to usher you along on this journey, to be in connection with a true love in this lifetime. And that may be a soulmate. It may be somebody that you had the most amazing soul contract with in a past life, and you're coming back into that love again in this lifetime. It could be a divine union where you were two souls that were, one soul that was split into two bodies, much like me and my husband. But there is a massive amount of love coming in for you all. Okay, and they're saying that what's taken so long, so they're telling me some of you have been waiting on this. It's like you've been opening, and you're asking your guides for you're asking for guidance. You're calling in your angels, your dragons, your fairies, whatever it is that you connect with, and you're like, why is it taking so long to get here? And they said, because you were releasing, cancel, clear that word, thank you. You were letting go and purging yourself of codependency. So you are finally in this space where you're able to not be, okay, let me back up. They said, where you can come into a truly divine love and not become codependent on them, not get into an energy of losing yourself in them, knowing that if for some reason they were to shift out of the vibration that you're in, that you would be okay walking away and calling in a new love. And that goes for us in divine union as well. Those of us that are one soul in two bodies. There are times where we're not able to we have to let everyone be on their journey. So if there are things that are going on in the bodies of our divine unions that we cannot help shift, and it starts to affect us, we have to always choose us first. That's something that me and my husband believe very strongly. We said it in our vows that if it ever came down between choosing between you and me, I'm always going to choose me first, because I cannot pour from a cup that is half full. I cannot pour from a cup that is empty. I need to put that energy, time, love, respect, honor, all of that back into self, and then radiate that out to you. And in that radiance, you can be in the love vibration with me. And same goes for you. You know, I tell my husband and I, like I said, we talk about this. So same goes for him with me. If I ever get into a place where he can't help me anymore and it's affecting his mental health, emotional health, physical health, spiritual health, any of that, then, you know, he needs to pull back and take care of himself first. And I completely respect that. So that's what you've shifted, is you've shifted through this level of codependency. Now, I want to bring this up because before I came into union with my husband, this is exactly what I did. I shifted out of codependency, and I never realized that I was a codependent person, because from a very young age, I was always very independent. I took care of myself. I moved out when I was younger than most teenagers. I had multiple jobs. I just was on a hustle and like masculine type energy to take care of myself and get out of the environment that I was in. So I thought, because I was such an independent woman and I was able to do all these things for self, that codependency didn't really exist in my world. And moving through my healing journey, I came to a space where I realized that I was emotionally codependent. And for me, when I had that realization, it's like this phoenix. Everything like burst open in flames. My entire life went up in flames, I felt like, in just a few weeks. And from that, I was able to fully rise from the ashes and understand that I needed to love myself more than I would love anybody else. And that includes my husband and my children, right? And love myself is loving the creator within me. It's loving a higher power that I am trusting and surrendering to help guide me on this journey. So maybe you think I haven't had to shift through a codependency, and maybe like me, you didn't realize that you were being codependent in certain areas of your life. I was, physically and mentally and probably even spiritually, I was very independent. But when it came to emotions, I did not know how to filter through my emotions. I did not know how to process them. I didn't even know what some emotions were. I had like a basic 5 emotions that I knew, probably less than that even. And everything else was just non-existent to me. And so learning that was a huge shift for me. And no joke, like a week later, my husband came into my life, and we knew each other for only a few months before we got married. And it's been just the most amazing experience ever since. So they wanted me to go through that. And then we have, the full moon. What's going on with these moon cycles? Because you have the new moon and the full moon here. Okay, so let's see what they have to say about the moon cycles. You're very connected to the moon. So if you feel like out of touch, out of balance, if things just feel off, get outside under the moon. Let the moonlight bathe you. You have a strong connection to it, and all of its cycles. It's like you're someone who really understands the moon cycles and understands that even when the moon isn't shining, as bright as the full moon does, even when it's just the sliver, the new moon, or even in the dark moon, it's still there and it's still supporting you. So I feel like those of you who chose this pile have a strong connection with a higher power. Like you're very tapped in, you believe, you trust throughout your life. You probably always had this, maybe some people would call it rose-colored glasses, but you had this energy of everything happens for a reason. Even if you went through hell and you felt like life was horrible and you were in survival, in your heart, deep in your heart, you always knew and believed that it was happening for a reason. And maybe you couldn't figure out the reason at the time, and that can get frustrating. But deep in your heart space, you always had that inner knowing that it's happening for a reason. I don't understand the reason now, but I'm going to let it go. So they're bringing in the moon because you should be working with moon cycles. Tap in and start working with moon cycles. Get out underneath the moon, whether it's like going for a night walk or maybe just like standing out on the patio or whatever it is, even going for a drive under the moon. If you have a sunroof, open the sunroof, let the moon shine through. And then also charge your crystals in the moon. So if you have crystals in your home, leave them out overnight to charge. And they're telling me moon water is very potent for you as well. So if you are wanting to create something, if you say are wanting to bring in new business, most people do it under the full moon. And what they're telling me right now is you should be doing it under the new moon. And what I'm talking about is putting a glass jar of water outside and like a mason jar, and putting it under the new moon and setting intention. You can use like dry erase markers to write on it, or you can put a note or a card underneath it, a crystal on top of it. Some crystals can go in water. Research that if you decide to do that, because some cannot. But create that moon water. Let that water bathe in the moonlight, and then you can ingest it. You can use it in cooking. You can just drink it down. That's what I mean by ingest it. You can use it in cooking. You can use it to clean your home. You can use it to wash your face. Like, use it to adorn yourself. But definitely you should be working with moon energy because you are so connected to it. So you're probably one of those people like me that goes outside and no matter what cycle the moon is in, you think it's the most beautiful thing. That's totally how I am. So I feel resonance with this pile as well. And then lastly here, they have you are enough. I feel like this isn't said enough to yourself. So find some affirmations or find a song. I actually was just listening to one earlier today that calls that energy in. Like, I am enough. I am beautiful. I am vibrant. I am lovely. I adorn myself. Like, give yourself that joy and that love that you would put into another person. Give it all back to you because you are enough. And once you are in fully in this energy, and this is what Solstice is bringing through for you, fully into this vibrancy of knowing that knowing your worth really is what it is. It's being in confidence, standing in your truth, having authenticity and knowing your worth. And once you're in that energy, things are going to speed up and love is coming in. Oh, thank you for those of you that chose this pile. I loved channeling this message for you. Until next time, happy solstice. Adios. Aloha, friends. Welcome back to those of you who chose shadow work. That is what this card is. And I'm hearing it's the divine shadow. The divine shadow. And they're showing me, they're showing me this lock up here. And you have like the dark angel here. And then if I flip it, there's the same lock here and a divine angel here. So it's as above, so below. It is a balancing of the higher self and the lower self. It is clearing of karmic cycles. It is embracing your shadow. Embracing your shadow. So maybe you've done some things that you aren't proud of. Maybe you have made some mistakes. We all have, right? Things that you... I feel like those of you that chose this pile, there are still things that you're holding on to that you wish you could have done differently, or had you had the opportunity again, you would do it differently. And they're just saying, let go, let go. It's all in the neck. I'm feeling like upper back neck area. I literally feel this in my body when I'm channeling. So upper back neck, it's like you're carrying a lot of weight on your shoulders that is unnecessary. You don't need to carry it. So let's see what's coming through for you all. I'm going to set these out however spirit wants me to. And then we're going to see what is coming through for you all that'll help you move through this. Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay, so the first thing they're calling out to is they're saying that there needs to be some forgiveness. And the forgiveness is for self. This isn't for anyone else. It's forgiveness within. It's forgiveness for things that you created that you can't take back. And is this, I just want to tap in spirit. Is this just this? For some, this is just from this lifetime. For others, and you'll know who you are, this is for past lives too. So maybe some of you have tapped into past lives where you were the aggressor or you were the quote unquote villain. And once you tapped in, you're like, ugh, this happened to me, y'all. I went into a past life through my ancestry, and I was almost disgusted. I mean, it was horrible. It was not something that I ever could have imagined I would do. And I've had to process through. I've actually had a couple past lives like that. So I think the older the soul, the more we've experienced and been through in this realm. And so they're saying it's time to forgive yourself. It's time to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, dear one. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. We know not what we do at lower levels of consciousness. They're saying when we are in lower levels of consciousness, our whole world is completely different. And as we raise our vibration and we come out of those spaces, we look back and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I actually did that, or I grew through that, or, oh, yeah, it's heavy. There's a lot here. I'm going to do they said don't do a lot, so I'm going to do just a little clearing for you. Yeah, those of you that chose this pile, I feel like you need a good cry. Like, you just need to let that energy out. Actually, even the energy just needs to come out. I saw something recently about what are they called? Rage rooms, where you can go and just break stuff. And the point of those rage rooms is to let that energy out. Whatever you're holding on to, whatever you're sad about. Maybe you look at your past self and you go like, why did you make that decision? It was horrible. And then you just like let that energy out by hitting something. You could punch a pillow. The rage rooms look fun. I totally would probably try it out. But screaming, crying, you have a lot of built up energy. A Reiki session would be really good for those of you. Oof, sorry about that. For those of you that chose this pile. Yeah, the energy is like shaken up. And I feel like that's what this solstice is going to do for you. It's coming in to shake out all of this energy that you're holding on to. They're even showing me like this rose. It looks like it's encapsulated in this heart, almost like a resin. Like they put this rose in resin, and then the resin is so strong around the outside of it that no matter what you do, you can never fully get to that rose. And what they're saying is, no, there are ways to penetrate it. There are ways to penetrate through the stuff that you're not proud of, the stuff that you're maybe ashamed of or mad at yourself for, beating yourself up for. Y'all, I had an experience early on in this lifetime where I thought that I got through it. I cried a lot. I processed so much emotion. And 10 years later, I was a fully functional alcoholic trying to get away from the alcoholism. I went to a Reiki session on a whim, had no idea what I was getting myself into. And these memories of that experience came up, and I just was like, I already processed through this. I cried for months. My whole life changed, and I processed through so much of it. How could it still be there? And my Reiki practitioner had told me at the time that the memories that were coming up was because I didn't fully process through it. Sometimes because these things cut so deep, there are so many layers. So it's like removing the resin layer by layer until you get to the blossoming of the rose, the full opening up of the heart space. And for self, that's what I had to do. It took many years. I probably overall, I want to say, oh man, at least 18 years that I probably processed through this. And not all 18 I was processing it, don't get me wrong, but I would process it, I would think I would get through it, and then 3 or 4 years later it would pop up again, or like I said, 10 years later it would pop up again, and I'm like, oh, okay, here it is again. I thought I processed it. So it's something that you're holding on to deeply, like that. I feel like maybe you made a mistake and you did something that shifted your life cycle, and it's like you can never get back what you had. And instead of moving on with your life and calling in, joy and peace and love all over again, you've chosen to shut yourself off, and you've chosen to just stay in this space of I'm better off alone, and like hiding your feelings is what they're telling me. There's a disconnect right now with a higher power. It's like sometimes you believe, and then a lot of times you're questioning. You're saying like, what is this? I don't believe in a higher power. I'll tell you, when I was in that cycle and when I was growing through some of my deepest, darkest shadows and going through my dark night of the soul, I was in spaces where I was like, is there a God? Is there a higher power? I don't know. I don't feel like there is. If there was, why does X, Y, and Z happen? And blah, blah, blah. Like I was in such a low space. I could not see the light. So that's what they're saying is like, there's been this disconnect for you. Now they're showing me the light that's streaming in, going like through this rose, which they're saying is like the heart space. The cosmic heart space, thank you, the cosmic heart space. And then they're showing me continuing down through this card into this butterfly transformation energy. And actually, as I'm showing you, it's this figure 8 that's happening above your crown and solar star space, and allowing you to open back up. So I feel like maybe something even has brought you to your knees recently, where you're like, God, please, I don't know where else to go. I don't know where to turn. If there is a God, show me. I need the light right now before I make some really bad decisions and change my life path again. So this is it. This is your light. You listening to this is your light coming in. And what the water element they're telling me is going to be super potent for you. So having, actually interesting, I didn't realize it, but the frequency that wanted to come through and play, and I'm going to list the frequencies in the description, but the frequency that wanted to come through and play specifically for this pile is this one. And if I'm going to just pause for a moment so you can hear it. It has this beautiful flowing water energy to it. This is going to calm your nervous system. It's going to release some of that cortisol that's been built up. It's going to help you let go. It's going to be very, very cleansing. And then they're telling me it's going to bring joy back into your life. Look at the dolphins playing here. It's a very vibrant, playful energy when you get into, and the light, thank you. They're like, show them the light coming in. So it's very dark down here, right? But you have these spots of light that are coming in and lighting up the bottom. So they're saying it's what's happening right now. It may feel like a lot, and it's happening to harmonize. It's happening to harmonize and understand that as above, so below, that what happens within also without, that it's helping you shift out of this energy so that you can rise up, which then brings me to this beautiful card. Actually, both of these, they're like, show them both, thank you. It's this surrender, this opening up, allowing, like, fully surrendering, and they're the rose again underneath, the blossoming, and then rising up through these higher realms, being able to shift your perspective, shift your energy, see things from a higher perspective, see things. I'll tell you, when I went back, and I had found out many times that I was punishing myself for this experience that I had. And I will eventually talk about it. So those of you that stick around will probably hear about it eventually. But this experience that I had, I was subconsciously punishing myself and pushing people and things away because I didn't feel like I was worthy of them, because I was so angry at myself for what I had did. And I had a hard time forgiving myself. And I remember someone telling me at one point, well, you believe in God, don't you? And this was like at the beginning, right after this experience happened. And I said, yes, because I was crying and processing a lot. And they said, well, if you believe that God would forgive you, why can't you forgive yourself? And I thought, you know what, you're right. That's a really good way to look at it. So I am going to forgive myself. And then what I didn't realize is that subconsciously, I hadn't forgiven myself. I was still carrying this pain of what had happened through this experience and the choices that I made that were the reason it happened. And I carried it for so many years unknowingly. And finally, when I fully released it, which was not that long ago, a couple years back, I fully released it, and I got into this space of surrender, just fully opening up my heart, letting go. And in that space, what it did is it rose me up into a higher dimension, and I was able to see things from a bird's eye view. So instead of seeing it in this lower vibrational space of, I made a mistake, I thought I knew what I was doing, I made a poor decision, it's a choice that I made, I'm gonna have to live with that the rest of my life, I was able to rise up to a higher frequency and then see everything else. Like, oh, you made that decision because you felt like there were no other options. You made that decision because you were in scarcity. You made that decision because you were indoctrinated to believe something that in your heart was not true. And so when that experience happened and I felt into my heart, it was really hard for me to process through. So it's telling you this harmonization that's happening, it may not feel, they're like, don't sugarcoat it for them. Okay, thank you. It's not going to feel good. It's going to bring you to your knees. It's going to bring you into surrender. And if you're ready to let go and you want to continue to rise and you want to call in a better life and you want to forgive yourself, then there are so many things that are waiting for you on the other side. You can shift out of this darkness and into this light. Okay, and they're saying call on Archangel Ariel. I don't know too much about Ariel, but let's see if she has a message to come through. Okay, I'm going to channel a little bit from her. such a beautiful channel. It's saying you deserve it, even though you may feel like you made some mistakes or wrong choices. It's time to let that go. You deserve, just like everyone else in this room, you deserve happiness and joy and love and peace. And that is what we are shifting to in Ancient New Earth, to help you process through all of this, to help you get out of the darkness and rise and harmonize the shadow with your highest self. Call in more gratitude. Be grateful for the little things. It can be the smallest thing, you guys. It can be I'm working with neurology right now, and I was doing a neurological practice to help me shift my brain around things that have been indoctrinated into me, or things that I believed at a lower level of consciousness that I'm ready to let go of. And when I did it for I've done many of them. This one I did for creativity. I wanted to be more creative. I wanted to be tapped into my creatrix self and be able to really be in the flow of creating more. And excuse me, I have hiccups. And in that space, I was calling in creativity. So, yesterday, this was a few days ago that I started calling it in. And then yesterday I saw this window of a store, or I don't even know if it was a yoga shop or a store or whatever it was. I can't even remember. But the message on it was create something new every day. And I pointed out to my husband, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've been calling in creation, and it's saying create something new every day. Like, that to me was a synchronicity. It was something to be grateful for. Like, thank you, Spirit. I see that my message is getting through, and I'm hearing the messages in return. Maybe it's just getting a discount on something that you didn't expect to get a discount to. Maybe it's having, someone who usually is kind of stoic with you be more bubbly and happy and open. It's little things. Find whatever it is that can help you shift, and call in more gratitude. I had the yoga instructor a few years back that told me the more that we are in gratitude, the more we'll have to be grateful for. The more that we are in gratitude, the more we will have to be grateful for. So have gratitude for the journey. Have gratitude for how far you've come. Have gratitude that even if you made a choice that you're not proud of, that you had the freedom and the liberty to make that choice, where some people don't even have that. So have gratitude for the little things. Have gratitude for being connected to this space, to be able to come through and receive this message. Whatever it is, if it's a penny shining on the floor, have gratitude for all of the little things, and the universe will start conspiring to bring you more things to be grateful for. All right. I'm sending you all so much love. Happy solstice. Until next time. Adios. Welcome back to those of you who chose card number 4. I'm going to bring this a little bit closer so you can see it. All right, lots of energy. I love the snow owl here, and the butterflies, the sacred geometry, this rainbow shield. Like, they're telling me rainbow auras, but it's more than one. And this like corridor of light energy. What else is down here? Some feathers. I didn't notice that until now. And there's a woman standing here, but to me it looks like this like crystal selenite, like just a very strong, cleansing, pure vibrancy. So they're telling me that you are super tapped into your intuition, that you are able to receive messages on your own. They're coming through. You're trusting in them more. You're starting to cultivate a deeper connection with your heart space so that you can open up and receive these messages. Let's see what else wants to come through for those of you that chose this pile. All right, lots of pink energy, pink and purple. So it's the, well, they're telling me crown and sacral, but I'm also feeling a lot of high heart. Thank you, high hearts coming through. So connecting through the high heart as the portal to connect to higher vibrations, to call in the things that you want. This energy, y'all, it feels fantastic. This solstice is bringing in, the first thing it's bringing in is this inner child play, and I'm hearing freedom. Maybe you're connected to hummingbirds, or you have passed on loved ones that connect with you via hummingbirds. That energy is very strong. They're telling me that there's a passed on loved one that's a hummingbird that comes through hummingbirds for some of you that is okay, there's a message, so I'm just going to go ahead and channel it. They're saying, I'm so proud of you. You've shifted so much, and you deserve to be in this space. I'm here with you. I'm watching over you. If you need anything, reach out. What you want is coming to fruition, and I'm here with others on the other side helping make that happen. Oh, that was sweet. I don't know who that was for. Maybe it was for just one person or more. If that resonates for you, take it. If not, leave it for the others. But the energy they're showing me with this is just a freedom, like they're like showing me like frolicking joyfully through nature and just enjoying life. There's the child that has the freedom to do whatever they want. They don't have bills to pay. They don't have orders to follow. They are just fully in their in love. In love is what they're telling me. In love. Okay, and then the divine feminine is coming through very, very powerfully. It is, it's an energy of softening. It is softening into the flow of life, allowing yourself to be led, allowing yourself to connect to a higher power, to connect to a higher version of self, to receive downloads, to share downloads for others, to like they're telling me the energy connection that those of you have, I don't know if you know it, but you are definitely channels. So you can channel, and this came through for a client last week that I asked the client, you know, do you channel, or have you ever been a channel? And the client said, no, I don't even really know anything about channeling. And I asked, are there people that come to you all the time for advice? And they said, yes. Oh my gosh, everyone comes to me for advice. And I said, do they always come, and for some reason you just always know what to say to them to make them feel better? And they're like, yeah. Sometimes I even like question afterwards, like, where did that come from? Well, that is a channel. That means that you are open and you're actually channeling things through. And I'll tell you, with my channel, there were things that would come out. I would be talking to someone and I would come up with this analogy, and I would explain the analogy to them, and then they would come back to me and be like, oh my gosh, that's true. And I'm like, oh, that's not an analogy. That's my like human brain going, oh, this is an analogy I'm explaining to you. When actually I just was very open and I was channeling that message through. That actually happened this last week with one of the opportunities that I had, where I channeled and I said, you know, it's like this happening in your dream space. And the person stopped me and their jaw dropped and they said, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I dreamt about last night. Like, there's no way that you could have known that. And I'm like, okay, that was clearly channeled. It just came through me. So you also have that power. So it's time for you to nourish it, to allow it to not necessarily grow, but be seen. Like, be in that flowing feminine, full on loving yourself, confident goddess type energy, and allow whatever needs to flow through you to flow through you. Maybe it's a smile that you share with someone. Maybe it's sharing something that you're doing that they're going to be able to connect with. It's reminding me of this conversation I saw actually between two guys where it just was small talk at first, like, oh, hey, this is so and so. Hey, nice to meet you. How's it going? And then it turned into, I have all this wood in my car, and it was like, oh yeah, I'm a woodworker, and I have a shed, and I do this work. And they had like almost like a full hour conversation about it, and it was like new friends forming, and it was the most beautiful thing. So maybe it's that. Maybe you have a trade or something that you work with and that you do, and you just being in someone's presence and sharing it with them inspires them to do something different. It inspires. I saw these guys talking about it, and one of the guys was like, you know what, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna get this started. Like, this is something that I've always wanted to do, and seeing that you do it has inspired me to do it as well. So maybe it's that. Maybe it's somebody just needing your energy of inspiration to help them push through and take that next step. Because taking the step away from the work grind, the force, is what they're saying, like the workforce, and shifting into creating and making life happen the way that you want it to happen, allowing yourself more time, more play, more joy, being in that like creatrix type energy, allowing things to come to you, not chasing after them. Just that energy sometimes needs to be shared with others so they can also see that they don't have to be tied down to a 9 to 5, or they don't have to, it doesn't have to be so this mundane routine that they have to go through over and over. They can shift out of that. It's like, this keeps coming through, scarcity, right? I grew up in an environment that had a lot of scarcity around it. And I remember even when I moved to where I am now, there were people that told me, oh, you're not going to be able to afford it. How can people afford to live out there? It's crazy. It's this, it's that. And my mind was not in scarcity, not at that time. And I was like, you know what? There are other people that live there. If it's so crazy expensive and no one can afford to live there, why are people living there? My mind was seeing things from a different perspective. And because I shared that experience with others, and I opened up and told them how I was going to do things, and if things got tough, the steps that I would take and the things that I would do, it allowed other people to step into their truth. It allowed people to go, I never thought that I would make money selling my artwork, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to open up an Etsy, or I'm going to, promote my stuff on social media, and I'm going to, start doing little art shows and maybe connecting with spaces and coffee shops where I can present my artwork. And it opens that up for them. So the more you step into your divine, feminine, intuitive, playful, open, flowing type energy, the more you allow others to step into theirs as well. So you'll start to see other people shifting around you, or you'll start to call in the energy that you're radiating out, right? If you're in that creatrix energy where you are fully tapped in and softening into what you want from your life, not what other people want for you or from you, you being in that authenticity is what's going to help others have the voice and the power to step into their authenticity and fill into that space as well. All right, sacred time. They're saying sacred time is needing for, okay, thank you. They should show the two. The sacred time is needed for your self-worth. Because when you spend time with self, when you put love back into self, when you nourish self, you are amplifying your self-worth. You are opening up and blossoming in that space. Look at the difference in roses. It's like putting that love in, and then boom, it's this huge blossoming and opening that happens. So they're saying if you start to struggle with self-worth, this is just a reminder for moving forward. If you have any struggles with self-worth, put love into yourself. Put affirmations into yourself. Look at yourself. I saw something this AM, actually. I think it was this AM, maybe last night. Maybe it came to me in the astral. I don't know. Time is interesting. But I saw something that said, I used to look in the mirror to see my flaws or to check my flaws. And it said, now I look in the mirror to praise my growth, to admire my beauty, to give myself love. So I feel like that's the shift that if you feel like you're starting to get into a space where you don't feel worthy, or you feel like you're not enough, or that you need to, like you're holding back, they're telling me, look in the mirror and give yourself love. Tell yourself, I love your eyes. I love your smile. I love the way that you smile and bring joy to the room. Find little things to love about yourself to bring that energy back in. And then call on Archangel Uriel. I'm not super familiar with Archangel Uriel, but let's see if there's a message that wants to come through. Okay, she is showing me this like Shambhala, is that Shangri-La? Thank you, Shangri-La. It's like this Shangri-La is this like beautiful paradise space that is it's like a myth, I guess people would say, like that's hidden in the Tibetan mountains, and it's this paradise space where everything is great. Like the energy is it's all love. It's a higher frequency people, they're telling me, higher frequency community. Thank you. A higher frequency community. And so they're showing me okay, they're saying call on Archangel Uriel while you are out in nature, spending time alone in nature specifically, and that vibration of Shangri-La is going to come in and light you from within. It's like a reactivation, it's a realignment, it's a almost like this crystalline light energy that's going to come in and help cleanse you. So if you have trouble getting out of your headspace, if you feel like you're overthinking or there's too much going on in your mind, get out into nature. Get out and enjoy, like stop and smell the flowers, go for a walk, listen to a creek, the water run by, or a waterfall, or sounds of the ocean. Get into that natural frequency. Call on Archangel Uriel and ask to shift out of that energy. And I will tell you, it's going to be instant. You're going to feel it. You're going to breathe it in, and you're going to be able to feel it. Like, y'all are, those of you that chose this pile are so connected that it'll be like an instant, oh, that's all I had to do? If I knew that, I would have came out sooner. So get out into nature, find more time to be in that. And then the last card we have here is Reassurance. And this is, I believe this is the flower of life here, this sacred geometry. And they're just showing me they're showing me the abundance. It's like you're in a space now where you can literally put out your hands and say, this is what I want. I'm ready to receive. And the universe is going to conspire to bring that to you. So ask for what you want. Be mindful of your words, that you're not calling in things that you don't want. And even that, they're telling me, like, the universe doesn't know negatives. So my husband corrected me on this the other day too. I said, I don't want blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, you just called it in. So, and so stop saying don't and call in what you really want. He was like, what's the opposite of that? And I'm like, oh yeah, duh. Okay, I want this, or I want to free myself from that. And that will help you with the wordplay and, the frequency of bringing it in. Wow, my vibration is so high right now. There's literally a helicopter like hovering right over the house. Okay, anything else that wants to come through for this pile? Is there anything I'm missing, Spirit? Just more play. More play. This keeps, yeah, more play. Whoever you are, it's like Spirit is wanting to get through to you that you need to bring more joy and play into your life actively. You need to do it. Not anybody else is going to like invite you out and pull you out and make you do it. You need to bring that energy in, and everything else is, it just feels amazing. It feels in flow, you guys. It feels really high vibrational. So alrighty, I think that is all. Yep. All right. Happy solstice. Until next time. Adios.